All righty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft. Here with your hosts Blackjack and Foxtrot. Joining us is our match admin Eisen, as we'll be going live with the second day of Division 1 in the fourth season. Plenty of numbers right there, but to simplify it all down, today is yet another day for the top dogs of the region to duke it out in this first week, set the table, set the score for the table and the pacing for this leaderboard. Speaking of which, let's have a look at that before we get started with the match nice and quickly. And as you can see, the points table right now, we talked about this last night, but Union Gaming 7-0 yesterday against ESM Elite, absolutely destroying that team and just showing, taking no prisoners, really. You can see that positive 7 in the round conversion ratio on the very first day of the season. That is a very rare sight. Something that Foxy talked about yesterday is we used to think that 7-0s, especially dominant 7-0s in a Division 1 are a myth. Well, UG showed us that it in fact can happen, and with that, they'll be taking a big lead into the first week and the subsequent matches that they have in Division 1. But today they're going up against Exterminate Esports, who are second to last on the table as well. And both of these teams are going up against each other on the map of Consulate. Let's join the players now, actually, in the middle of the ban phase for said map, giving us once again that exquisite action that we are ready and waiting for. X-Team on the defense, UG on the offense, and Blackbeard is going to be the first ban from the side of Exterminate Esports. Interesting decision right there, as while Union Gaming has, they've dipped into the whole Blackbeard mythos every now and again, they're not exactly a team that mains the Navy SEALs. So banning Blackbeard on Consulate is more of a map-related decision right there, seeing as multiple sites in this map have many areas that Blackbeard can take a lot of advantage of given his face shield. On the other side, UG will decide to ban Thatcher and Maestro. That is another Consulate-specific ban, I think, because Maestro, not only is he a very powerful operator and very powerful on plant denial, but when it comes to basement garage, two evil eye cams can be hidden very well in the parking space where the white van and the black van are. And those two vehicles offer plenty of nooks and crannies that attackers may or may not otherwise be, aware of unless they've droned it out very thoroughly. So with Maestro gone, we've got a Womai ban from X-Team Esports. Fairly standard. Womai bans have really caught on as of late. And I'm not surprised given the kind of utility meta we saw with Jaeger and Womai in tandem in Shadow Legacy. But of course, we've had enough about that. Let's look at both of the rosters that are here in the lobby for ourselves today. From the side of Union Gaming, we've got Sparko, Jittery, EX7, Beat, and Sandy. And from the side of XTM, Skullex, Triggered, Maddie, Bot, and Rinny. But here we have a very interesting site selection. Basement Archives First Floor Tellers, i.e. the vertical split site of Consulate coming out with the Pulse being 6 picked in and a Jackal brought in by EX7. One thing to note before I, of course, hand off the mic to Foxy is this match is a bit of a revenge match for XTM as well. In Season 3, these two teams went up against each other, and after a long and very well-fought battle, Union Gaming emerged the victors. XTM, unfortunately, couldn't quite seal the deal, so they'll be looking to take things back in their favor today. Whether or not they'll be able to is a different story altogether. Now, I've kept the man from the mic long enough. Foxy, all of this information, all of this story building, what do you think about the match that we've got on hand?
5 seconds.
I'll be honest, first things first, I had a very good script prepared to when I was handed down to the mic, but I got a little too carried away with what you were trying to convey, and I completely forgot what I'm supposed to open up with. But we're here witnessing this, and this could not be put into better words than Blackjack just did. XTM Esports is a team that I myself, how do I put this? I've been looking forward to see them bring out some really good stuff. And wait a minute, EX7 is already inside the top of yellow, and that's why is going to go down. Skullex will be the one to make sure that the entry is still not offered to Union Gaming. And quite interestingly, so we've got a very unorthodox side come out on the first get-go. Usually on Consulate, I think with the change in meta, this most definitely happens to be a side that see the defense just take advantage of, and yes, they will. A good opening frag for Skullex to just take advantage of and put XTM up, and that 4 versus 5 into this round. But coming back to what I was trying to convey is not only will this be a very interesting match to look forward to the 7-5 loss last time against UG, we have XTM Esports this time lining themselves up for the first victory into the season as well. Last season, they were as equal, almost as equal as to the champions, where we did see Valiants come out to that contest of the spot as well. But yet, XTM and Valiants, both of them have not been able to beat UG, and this is one of those opportunities to just cut through. Let's see what happens. So far, UG is going to be taking this slow. They've realized that, hey, losing EX7 so early is definitely fatal for us. Let's not take this fight head on. Let's fight on our turf. Let's take this a little more slow, and that's what they seem to be doing. Skullex making his way back. The drone is going to spot him. That's going to be a very expected flank. You see so many flank jobs already doing it, just able to watch out for anybody just able to come up from the side. White stairs, spiral, whatever. We've already got the attack entirely focused on this one area. It looks like the push will come on towards the side of Visa stairs, but that's not something I can yet make a judgment out of. Beat, meanwhile, is going to get the frag, and that's on site. He's going for the plan. This is going to be a very good spot to go for, unless, of course, a possible projectile C4 comes in. It won't Sandy with the double kill. That's a very good cleanup for the man himself. Gets a double off that flank. They were supposed to come out as Sparko. He's just going to get a little too excited and nade himself, I guess. He's still got 30 seconds and ticking, and UG is able to hold this post plan really well. A 3 versus 1. Maddie, the only one left surviving the Mira. It's not the best positions to be in. 20 seconds and ticking down. This is looking like a lost cause for XTM Esports in the first round of the get-go in this revenge match that we happen to possibly talk about. Union Gaming finish up round 1. Union Gaming take this first round like they want to set an example, like they want to make sure that they know who's in the lobby. A 7-0 yesterday in day 1. Day 2 is just proving out to be no less of the strength that UG just happens to bring out. Be it any map, Consulate just happens to add up to one of those many maps that they like to play on. And here we are, 1-0. Let's see what the rest of the map happens to offer us.
That was certainly a way to begin for the side of Union Gaming. Unfortunately, XTM, they had the right idea to try and bamboozle this attacking team by going for a different side, if you will. But unfortunately for them, we've seen Union Gaming attempt this side themselves and win it when it's been attempted against them. Exterminate, unfortunately, not really doing things the best possible way. Their second floor roam was present, but unfortunately, once that second floor roam was dealt a bit of damage to, and the first floor tellers was practically cleared out by Beat, he could just go and go for the plant, because basement, the defenders inside the basement weren't really able to do too much, all things considered. And the plant denial was not really there. They seem to be prepared more for vertical pressure rather than horizontal pressure. And while there was some vertical pressure with the roam clear coming out from the Ash, it was more just to support Beat getting into sight and getting the plant off. And unfortunately, the basement area was practically neglected. XTM were holding for a Archives push because they had practically everything set up there, but it wasn't to be for them in that round. So they were going to be choosing a basement, garage and cafeteria in the second round, going forward to a more traditional site, if you will, a more traditional operator loadout as well, except I'm seeing bot playing Doc in this situation. Not an operator you get to see too often, shall we say, although, Doc is a pretty good pick, all things considered. His MP5, good damage at good range as well with the 1.5 on hand. More than that, stim pistols. Who can beat being overhealed to 140 HP? Just Doc main things, am I right? That's gonna be what comes out. Well, actually, now that I look at it, he's got the P90 in hand. Well, that's certainly not in the realm of expectancy, shall we say. You don't usually see P90 come out at this stage of CG Sports, but points to the man. He's trying to do something. Unfortunately, his cams are going to get blocked, and Rinny's position will be given away right next to the console double window. Trying to go for some aggressive roam plays, potentially. He's got a Decabi to worry about. That's EX7, and unfortunately, he will be downed, but the cleanup isn't quite there yet. EX7 was trying to secure the kill instead of worrying about the Vigil, who is in the vicinity. Skullex doing some work right now as the Doc will take one. No, actually, that was Maddie who took one. The Malusi, and Jittery gets the reflag nice and quickly. The Vigil is still present in connector, but EX7, man, he's just wasting bullets at this point. That is not going to connect there because the very top of Jaeger's helmet isn't even part of his hitbox, but the Vigil is still present. He should probably be focusing on that other roamer as, Skullex tends to bleed out, but no, Rinny will be survive, but unfortunately, oh boy, that was a lot of time wasted, and EX7 won't be looking too good after that one. Let me just say that.
Most definitely not the position I expect EX7 to find himself in. He knew there's somebody right outside that doorway. You know, he got those pre-fires coming in. He knew exactly what's up, and still somehow decided to go for that kill. But hey, I get it. Maybe he was just thinking he might be able to get the drop on the Vigil, but not yet. It's going to come down to bot and B. Both of them able to get frags of their own. There's another fight going down on the side of yellow. That Jittery will win for a while, but not for the entirety of it. There's a quick refrag from Rene, the man who just came back on his feet, and here's the final one to finish things up. XDME with P90 on the dock as well. You know, just able to finish this off in style. Bot coming in just with that little mild of a flex with the black ice as well. Just able to finish that in style, like as I like to call it. XDM Esports coming in with the round 2. That was very much necessary, the equalizer in a map like this. And hey, it's most definitely going to be an interesting turn of events on as to how we happen to see these teams just able to adapt with the Vamai ban. I think that's really hurt the side of the defense. You see just the way Vamai happens to provide so much more of an anti-projectile on a map like this. You know, it comes down to consolate. There's so many areas and choke points and points of contest that you really need to get done, where you need Vamai, where you need the ADS on the Jaeger, and that's why the 6-peg on the Jaeger from Rene comes in as well. Rook will be swapped out for the Jaeger, quite understandably so, like I just happened to bring that out, but it looks like XTM Esports really wants to stick with this side that they seem to be going on towards today. It's nothing new, honestly. You happen to see stuff like this come out quite a bit in Division 1, where teams are a little more confident with what they like to do. And honestly, I'll not like to go down the path that, hey, it's not an orthodox side, you would really not want to visit this. Maybe try your luck somewhere you're a little more practice upon. That's totally not the case when it comes down to these teams completely experienced and knowing exactly how to play this. Well, not exactly, because they did lose that first round coming back to this side, but then you happen to think about it, it's a calculated move. It's just not been working out for them. That being said, we'll be into the action phase. Let's see what round 3 brings us.
You know, going off of the fact that these teams, especially XTM, they are a team that really tries this site on multiple occasions. It's not like a one-off where they just go there once and completely, abandon all thought of the site in subsequent rounds. They do what they can because they are very confident about their hold here on Basement Archives and First Floor Tellers. This vertical split site has proven to be difficult before, but it's not unwinnable. And given XTM's history with this site, it certainly could work, but it's going to need them to be at the top of their game for the entirety of the round. The Roam has to make sure that they waste as much time as possible, but Sandy taking Skullex down is going to hurt them quite a bit. That's a castle off the board. And just to remind all of our viewers, as soon as that first kill went off from UG, they started falling into side. Winnie's going to take a ton of damage, presumably from EX7 on the IQ right there. And unfortunately, the Jaeger will be a little low, but no, bot goes down. That's Jittery to take the kill. He's already pushing sight, unafraid of anything. Watching that just corridor, knowing that there's somebody by piano as the C4 will go off. Will that find anybody? No, Beat is only low on HP. He will not be down, and he's the one with the diffuser as well, so that will not help. Exterminates cause in the slightest. EX7 trying to go down spiral, see what he can get out of this as the Mira and the Wamai, the Mira and the Pulse are down there doing what they can, but no, the first will go down. That's triggered off the board. EX7 may have just hastened this round's of finish as Sparko 1 will finally go down, and there goes another one. Rini and Maddie taking 2. Rini takes his second as well. Beautiful shot on the EX7 as the plant will go off, but Sandy's still there on second floor for cover, and that is your Jaeger taken care of. It's all down to Maddie, the last man standing, 1v2 in the post plant. Even though it was and still is a bit of a retake situation for this defender, even for Rennie, who was all the way out by Piano, should have probably fallen in a little sooner, but I think he was afraid of the angles being watched by Union Gaming. 20 seconds, well, 17 seconds remain for this final defender, Maddie, to do something about the situation. He's just going to come a spiral and get taken down by Sandy. Call-outs coming in from UG, and the Ash will make sure to take the Mira down before the situation could get out of hand. As we will see in the instant replay right there, Union Gaming still unshaken when it comes to an attacking push onto Basement Archives first floor tellers. That's going to make things a whole heck of a lot harder for the side of Exterminate. You know, while we appreciate them going to this site with absolute confidence, 2 for 2, and it's both times it's gone Union Gaming's way. So maybe for this match, not attempt that. Again, I don't want to say that by, sounding like you shouldn't, that it's an unauthorized side. No, just like Foxy said, we don't want to say it like that, because with XTM's confidence going into that site, they have an idea of what to do, and they've practiced it clearly. But at the same time, one has to think, against Union Gaming, with these 2 rounds the way they went, is it really the site that will give them advantage? That's sort of the angle I'm trying to think of here. But clearly, I'm failing at those words for the time being. So I'm just going to hand it off to Foxy with the 4th run going to first floor lobby instead.
Well, one thing that I really want to point out, heading into round 4, and while the last round is still fresh in our minds, that positioning from Sandy, just beautiful. It was that little thing that most definitely went a little unseen. You happen to see the push happen towards the side, all towards from the side of Visa as well. We saw Beat taking a beating from that, quite literally from that C4. But it was more than that. We saw Sandy just able to be on the top floor, not only able to cut off rotation, but he was able to pick up 2 kills with the conclusion 1 as well from that. It most definitely happened to offer UG a very good and a very better state in terms of where they happen to stand at, just in the attacking phase. You see, you wouldn't be expecting somebody to come out of there. That's exactly what I'm trying to bring out. Wait a minute, Sandy's already on the side once again, and he cleans up onto bot. EX7 gets another 2. This is coming out to be quite the massacre once again. Triggered will refrag though. That's going to be on the Sparko, but the side control already into the hands of UG, and the plant will follow up on that time queue quite consequently. We've still got Sandy coming in with the quick kills that he's been making. Refrags galore. That will come out from Rene and Skullx themselves. You still got a 2 versus 2 in a very good sense, alive, but still the clock will be ticking. Got to be this 20-second timer. They've got eyes on the man as well. Rennie, he's got to swing wide, but this is going to get played very well by the attackers. That's going to be a good cover that I see Union Gaming using as we have to move ahead. It looks like a lost cause once again. XTM Esports finding themselves in a really bad spot. Union Gaming not failing to take advantage of a movement like that. I guess you saw what we just saw Sandy do. He just happened to rappel into Piano, knowing there's nobody watching that area right now. So going about that possible retake situation from XTM, and excuse me, just as you happen to think about it, going about that possible remote control on the side of Piano and media press room just did not work out. XTM really needs to think their defense through, excuse me, because what they're doing is most definitely not wrong, but it is not suiting to versus what UG is bringing out. They're able to identify so many vulnerabilities so quickly, and hey, it's a game where you've definitely got to race against the guns and winning those fights, but also these little mind games that come down to it. You've got to win them as well. We'll be headed to the next round. That's going to come down to be a bit of a tester and a decider as well, if I may, because we happen to head into the second half. You see a 3-1 in the favor of UG. It looks like they might be able to get one more match victory for themselves. And shutting down XTM is going to be all the while more difficult. And just a good breather for them, shutting down an enemy and an opponent as worthy as this team. So XTM Esports really need to buckle up their seats. But right now, 3-1, and we'll be going to a quick rehost with the disconnection that just came out from UG. But that's not it. There's more than what it meets to the eye. You come down to Division 1, I talk about this quite a bit. We're getting to see new stuff, some new map, first of all, man. That's a breather. All right, I've got to put that out first and foremost. A new map, and that's a breather. Definitely Division 1. Getting to see Consulate back here. But more importantly, it's the site selection from XTM that has me interested. It's Sandy completely on a different level that he's just going out looking for heads. Looks like he's taken up that mantle of jittery a bit too much and a bit too aggressively. So he's just able to come in with the ash, able to decimate his opponents. That's the kind of Sandy we'll be getting to see today. But more than that, it's XTM and UG. But so far, XTM, quite the disappointing performance in the first half. Let's see if they can pick themselves back up in the second.
It's actually funny now that I think about it, given that we have this time in the rehost to talk about what we've seen from XTM and Union Gaming so far. UG really haven't had to do too much, when it comes to taking the sites. And I say that because when it comes to the Basement Archives first floor tellers push, what UG have pretty much done is have Sandy on second floor. He can get the roam clear done by himself. Maybe put EX7 up there with him if you want to. Even though in the second time going to that site, EX7 didn't even need to. He was just on first floor doing what EX7 does. And Sandy was able to get the roam clear done, get vertical pressure onto first floor tellers, and Jittery and Beat just pushed in. Like literally just pushed in because XTM is sort of trying to play for retake, right? That's essentially what they're doing. They're leaving site apparently empty, having some vertical control over it or horizontal, wherever you see them on the map. And as soon as the attackers think, all right, we've got control of the site, they want to just fall in and make it a fish in a barrel situation, if you will. Unfortunately, against Union Gaming, it's not really working out, shall we say. Especially like I'd say the round with the biggest example, the most obvious example of that was the first floor lobby round that we just had before the rehost. Is all of XTM was pretty much on second floor or basement, right? You had the Legion roaming around down below. You had everybody else on second floor. They had some vertical lines of sight to work with. But other than that, not a whole lot. They wanted to do a site retake. And UG saw that. And, just as XTM wanted them to, they were going into site. Whoever was the only defender inside the site went down. We had the Zofia pushing in. EX7 got that done. Easy. The plan's going off. It's retake time. And XTM, unfortunately, fails in their gunfight region. It's weird how when it's head to head, you see Rini doing a lot of work. You see Maddie chipping in every now and again, Skullex as well. But the rest of XTM, not as consistently as they need to be chipping in, is what's hurting them as well. Their selection of gunfights and when they're going for it is definitely not the best either. Sure, they've had some success, if you will. They've pushed the round into 2v2s and 1v2s, but even then, they're not winning the rounds. That's the problem here. If they can't take the rounds on the defense, going into attack, if UG goes into defense or consulate 5-1 up, XTM will be in a nearly unwinnable situation. And that is something nobody wants to be. That is a situation no one wants to be in, especially XTM in a match as big for them as this one is. Sure, you could argue it's only day 2 of the division and of the season for Union Gaming, for XTM and Union Gaming. So XTM is probably taking it easy. They're seeing what they can get away with, what they need to change and whatnot. And I agree with that. They will need to change things going forward from this point. But my question is, seeing as that retake attempt hasn't been working out for multiple rounds in a row now, why aren't they changing it up? Why are they not having a more a more dedicated presence in positions that they have already succeeded in? Because this retake setup feels a little bit more experimental than I think it's meant to. and I can only, of course, say that from an outsider's perspective. We don't know what the comms are. We don't know how much XTM has practiced this sort of a setup. They may have a lot, or they may not have by a lot. They're trying to experiment in an actual game with it. Regardless of wow, my voice does not support me every now and again. But regardless of wherever their confidence in their retake is coming from, I won't say that it's misplaced, but I will say it needs more refining. And that is arguably what is hitting them the most in this situation.
You know, all of that and the fact that Ghosty is not playing today. It must be,
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
it must be a reason, right? I really cannot miss my man out there. Ghosty is something I've always talked about whenever he happens to be in the lobby. That hey, it's not just what he happens to bring to the table. It's more than that. This player has been amazing whenever we've seen him perform, and well, at least for me, takes me back to every single match back in the day as well. Always on the top of the line performance. But today, XTM Esports, clearly they're missing him, and we can see that. But it's still the first half. I think there's still so much work that they can do with themselves. They can most definitely make amends to it as we happen to move ahead, and which we will, people. That's right. We've got everybody in the lobby, and the match is resuming on your screens in just a moment as we have everything just checked out and made sure that everything was all right. I think it is, and we'll be heading on to round 5. That's right. 3-1 is going to be the scoreline where we'll be taking away from Union Gaming. Still in that lead. Exterminate Esports, they really need to pick this pace up, because if they don't, it's going to come down to a second half where Union Gaming will come crumbling down on them. Arkham Centellus, quite interestingly, is once again going to be the site. So, well, all right, that's something we'll work with, I guess, for now. With something we'll just be going with. 2 losses on it so far, looking to cross that third mark, I guess. Maybe that's what they're looking to do. Not yet, or maybe not now. XTM Esports really need to put this round on board, or because all right, see, you get out a team doing new stuff. It's most definitely appreciated, but this is not really the place where you would like to try out new stuff. It's Division 1, and does happen to bring out quite the huge chunk of responsibility and whatnot into you as a player itself. The highest tier there is in the region. You come out to fight with the best of the best. You really don't want to be taking out some off chances with your defensive setups. That's all I'm saying. XTM Esports, 2 losses on the same side. Not the best of positions to be on, or is it just me staying on that opinion? Let's see if they prove me wrong or right, for that matter. It most definitely will be interesting to watch, that's for sure. Triggered once again. He's got to be on the Mira. Excuse me. I didn't think that was triggered last time on the Mira. We had Maddie coming in with the Mira play. Was that?
Yep.
There we go. So Maddie, the man is left alive towards the end. Always not able to work with anything. Just the man on the Mira. So it looks like that quick change in the roles is what they needed. They needed that kind of mobility, that kind of change. But hey, EX7 already inside admin. This was quick. Rene is going to go down. And no, EX7, man, with the flick of the wrist, gets the double. Look,
he just gets away with those.
Oh, that was quite the flex, dude. That was really a good gunfight we just witnessed from a third person's perspective, where we quite literally saw how EX7 decimates people. This is a very, very good example of how you feel when you play against this person. It's mostly just you staring at endless death screens of the fact that hey, EX7 killed you. Most definitely did very good double kill. Rene and Skullex, good night, people. 5 vs 3, a minute and 30 remaining. XTM Esports might have just dug themselves a deeper grave.
I mean, oh boy, EX7, he gets away with those with style as it goes, and even meanwhile going for the flank, but Sparko will be the first to fall from the UG roster, unfortunately, trying to push on the basement, but no! Well then, Jittery gets a double from out of nowhere, and I think both of them just lined up, but Maddie will refrag, and that is going to put them in a 1v3. Maddie, last man standing. He is the pulse, so he can give himself plenty of information, but he's already come up spiral and he's going back down. He's not sure what to do, as UG has drones all over the place. They have intel, everything that they need. All they have to do is find this man, and Beat's already doing that. There we go. The head will be taken. Maddie will fall, and Union Gaming will be going into yet another advantageous situation, as we will see in the instant replay. It is just UG all over the place, and XTM continuing this. I mean, I can't at this one. It is very experimental what they've been trying throughout the entirety of this match. Clearly, we were sort of bouncing back and forth with the idea of it being experimental, maybe not. But it definitely is, and it's not working. They're going to be heading to basement, cafeteria, and garage in the 6th round, last round before roll swap. And, interestingly enough, this is the only site that the side of XTM have actually won so far. That one score that they have, the one round that they've taken, it is the round and the site that they went to, the traditional site for Consulate. They played it like they normally do, and they won it against UG. Now, UG, of course, have just been vibing today. I mean, at this point, it's very clear, right? They are playing this game with the amount of seriousness, you expect from Union Gaming, but they're also just vibing. They're chilling. I mean, EX7 gets away with those kinds of things when he's vibing. Let's be real here, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Foxy?
No, I was just trying to agree to you that, hey, they're vibing. Maybe that's why they're feeling it. They're feeling the intensity of the game a whole lot more. Just able to come out with all of these plays and whatnot and much more. It's just a little unsettling though. You come out to see Union Gaming being these sneaky. All right, I really don't know a better way to put this. Union Gaming being these sneaky. Samuel Jackson's favorite word. Because you come onto this. You come onto this very different play style that a Union Gaming happens to just happens to set a precedent for a season. Even the last time Union Gaming, they were looking very shaky until week 2 and week 3. They made sure that they are shutting down Valiance, they are shutting down X Gaming the last time as well. This came out to such a huge advantage for them for the taking. That set themselves up for the champion spot. It's so many of these things that I think many people don't happen to think about or go through about how Union Gaming just happens to come out to perform when it's needed. And that's a lot. Staying on your toes always, staying at the top of your game takes a lot. It most definitely does. It's just, I'm still a little impressed, getting to see this kind of play style come out from Union Gaming, and still yet on Consulate. It's a map that has been changing with the meta quite a bit, just as we happen to see so many maps and so many sites turn off in their adaptations. But hey, Sandy is able to walk away with the double. Yes, we're getting a repeat telecast, people. It was EX7 and Sandy. No, it's everybody else as well. UG once again destroying and essentially just ending Exterminate Esports back in body bags. Exterminators are Union Gaming this time around. That's what it looks like, man. What is Union Gaming up to this season? A 7-0 to start off in the first day, and now a 5-1 into the second half. A very good first half for Union Gaming, most definitely so. Let's see if XTM is able to make it back from this position they find themselves in.
I think, I think Union Gaming may or may not have sensed that we were sort of talking about them chilling and vibing, and they just took it to the next level. Whatever they've got going on today, it's clearly working quite a bit. As Sandy, interestingly enough, I think he just took the 6-pick just to take the 6-pick's sake. He's gone out to the Valkyrie, into the Valkyrie. On the defense, that is right, Union Gaming, 5-1 going into defense against XTM Esports on round 7. I mean, wow. Sandy just gets away with those, I guess. I mean, he just walked in through Bench's corridor, found 2. That's your roam clear done. You have EX7 just getting into sight, Jittery taking kills for the second floor roamer. It's all being watched. They have the drones, they have the intel, they know what they're doing, and XTM just completely falling apart on multiple counts. I mean, I was sort of sitting here waiting for Sparko to start going off with Fuse's cluster charge, right? And he was, but arguably enough, that was the least highlighty bit of that entire round.
You know something, Blackjack? I can see visible happiness on your face when somebody's using the Fuse cluster charge.
I mean, come on, as somebody who started playing this game as a Fuse main and to this day defers to Fuse as one of the best operators in the game, you will always see me doing that. Bot in the meanwhile droning and knowing that the Valkyrie is probably trying to go for something cheeky, but no, Sandy will be the first one to fall, unfortunately, as an admin push is coming in. Rainey's taking a bit of damage in that gunfight, but not a whole lot. EX7 is spotted, of course, so he will decide not to push. Instead, knows that he needs to play just a little bit safer, as Rainey's going to put out a grenade instead. Very low on HP the sledge is, and the man is gotta be careful on what gunfights he picks. Beat all the way down in basement, you know, with a couple of barricades as well, is making his way up spiral for the time being. He's the smoke as well, interestingly enough. Smoke on a roam, not something you see very often, but he is doing what he does as a Skullex. Is that the LMG on the Zofia? Wait a second. We'll find out about that in just a minute, however, as Jittery has just found Bot. That's a bit of a retaliation right there, as the IQ will be the first one to drop. Jittery going up, but EX7 will be the one to find Skullex. That's another one, and Jittery gets another. Rini goes down. That is the entire roam clear, save for one. Already gone. Triggered is the last man, well, second to last man standing inside of meeting, and they know his position as well. You can see the yellow pings going out. They have the intel, but Jittery's gonna take Maddie in the meanwhile as EX7 falls, and another down comes in from Triggered. He's gonna secure the kill as well. That's the Jaeger taken care of. Jittery is off the board, but a 1v2 for Triggered to win. It is, of course, down from the 2v4 that they were in not too long ago. Maddie took a kill in the meanwhile, but oh boy, dicey once again, and we've seen Union Gaming win these 2v1 situations before. XTM, more specifically Triggered, he's gonna have to really work hard for this win.
It most certainly will have to come down to it. It's doable. I'm not saying that it's not doable, but 40 seconds and Union Gaming looking to get that match point. You know, it's just too much to let go and just let XTM take advantage of, I guess. Beat knowing that the changeup has come in from the side of the sled or from the side of the Nomad. Beat's in a little bit of gas, and that was the play, I guess. Beat able to bait the attacker into sprinting in the hallway. It's still a little confusing to me. We still got hallway sprinters at this level of play somehow, but hey, here we are on match point. Union Gaming 6-1, man. It's most definitely a very good season, if not for a start of Union Gaming. If you really think about it, Union Gaming is most definitely looking to get themselves that champion spot once again onto the Pro League, and it won't be their first, that's for sure, but it'll be their most dominant, maybe. I think that's what we might come around to, because this is not just any team. You know, you happen to see UG shutting down very good names like ESM Elite. All right, we might have to run a check on that one again. But you happen to come back.
You did not have to do them like that, Foxy. Come on.
That was obviously a joke. That was obviously a joke. But you come back. That was obviously a joke. You know, you come back to these amazing teams. I keep talking about this, right? That Division 1, no team can be taken lightly. Every single team just happens to come out with the best of plays. But it's just a little weird that XTM Esports and ESM Elite, very decorated teams, very good teams we know from such a long time, getting really taken to the cleaners here by Union Gaming. You know, 7-0, not the scoreline. 7-1, definitely not the expectation out of this one either. It's just, maybe it's just my, the astonished part of me talking about it, but it most definitely is a very different turn of events and a very good set turn of events for Union Gaming. Let's see what this round brings out. They still happen to be on match point 6-1, so you just have to bring in whatever they have, and that's exactly what I want to see XTM do.
Yes, not just a drone.
Well, Scullix is taking a bit of damage. I believe that was from EX7 spawn peak. Speaking of EX7 on the module, he's got a drone. You could hear the voice line going off while he waits for the C4. Well, then he's going to toss that out, but not going to find anybody, unfortunately. The rappel wasn't quite there, if you will, but another drone gets caught. EX7, he's dodging flashbangs and bullets, but no, not for long. He will finally go down, unfortunately. Maddie makes sure of that, coming in for the peak at just about the right time, but no, Sandy is gone out, and there go Triggered and Raining, two big drops, as that's gonna make XTM falter quite a bit in the round. Well then, were both of them repelled outside of that main door area of the building? Well, apparently they were. Sandy gets a triple. That's a C4 as well. Oh boy. Yeah, not looking too good, if you will. Unfortunately, Sandy somehow just goes out, gets the kill, not being watched in that situation. Not sure what was going on. They're probably trying to trade for information. But even then, right now, with only Bot and Scullix remaining, there's not a whole lot in this round that they can do. XTM 2 versus 4. They have to play this extremely well, and Beat will go down the first one in this situation, but Sandy will take his 4K, Scullix to fall, and Jittery on the other side took the refrag for one of their defenders falling as well. Union Gaming proving to us that even in Division 1, there can be extremely decisive scorelines. 7-0 against ESM Elite yesterday and 7-1 against XTM today. I mean, if there was any doubt about Union Gaming taking this season a little bit differently than they have before, I think those doubts are now gone, ladies and gentlemen. UG is definitely not here to play, as this will once again make that round conversion just that much harder to take over. I mean, look at it this way. This is what, 6 straight rounds that they have taken. It won't be 7, obviously. It's a 7-1, so that's a 6-round difference. That's 13 rounds at the finish of week 1. That's 13 rounds.
A lot. That's most definitely a lot. It's most definitely a throwback to our feeling back in season 4 of the last league as well. That's when Union Gaming had similar scores, but this was quite the performance, man. And it's just once again, it's just me. You know, you happen to see XTM come this close to being the champions last time. Maybe it's that little guy in me, little fanboy in me, just able to see XTM get that champion spot, able to show us that dream, but not get it this time around. It was quite the disappointing performance from XTM, but it was all the while a very happy, a very colorful performance, a very standard match of UG, if I may say. Pure dominance. We'll be taking a quick look at the highlights once again. Most definitely not a whole lot of clips to go through here, but it is still something that I think does deserve some appreciation. You know, EX7, Sandy, both of them coming in to be the playmakers, at least for this match. Most definitely they both were. We saw Sandy coming in with pretty much all the frags. Jittery today, though, he was a little bit more on the, how do I put this, impactful fragging. He was just coming in wherever it was necessary. Usually we see Jittery just pushing around, making his own way for himself, making his own spot. That's not the Jittery we got to see today. It was a little more playing towards the outlines of his teams, just able to give them support whenever he needed, or well, his team needed. That's why he was on Hibana, at least for the most of the time. But that is it, man. Union Gaming, they keep having to show us that, hey, it's not just the fact that with Jittery on entry, or you have EX7, you have Sandy, there's just so many roles you can go around with, and able to come and do justice to them well. That's something I don't see too many teams do in the region, and I think that's why Union Gaming is very rightfully able to get the champion spot for themselves towards the end of each season. I think that's what it's coming down to. They're really good, and there's no denying with it, but it most definitely has turned out to be a second day of a surprise for me, because man, like I said, XTM Esports, I really had my eyes on them. You know, like, all right, you come out to see XTM Esports, facing off the titans of this division. It's you don't expect nothing less of them. 7-1, man. It's just a little disheartening. Maybe, maybe not. Union Gaming, congratulations to them for the match, and I guess we'll be looking to see more of that decimation come out towards the season 4 as we happen to go ahead. We've still got 2 more weeks of action, and that's right. This is still the first week, and that means we've still got so many plot twists to go down through, and just so many twists and turns in terms of how we can see the table going about. But hey, like Blackjack happened to emphasize that, excuse me, I happened to emphasize that before as well, that it is, of course, a very difficult position to shake off from where Union Gaming happened to stand. And I think it's just common sense is a very good evidence of the fact that you are able to win off a 7-0 and a 7-1. The points table is most definitely going to be in your favor. But that's that, man. That's my 2 cents on what we got to see in the entirety of today's match, and the entirety, in fact, of week 1 kicking off Division 1 teams. And that will also be taking a quick look at the table as well, the scoreboard, on how this whole thing, the whole scenario happens to just reflect onto it on your screens right now. Union Gaming, look at that, with both of their matches played and won with a 13 round differential. I'm not good at maths, but that's a lot, and even I know that. So that's most definitely a lot. So you come down to looking at things like these, it's just good, man. It's just too good for their group stage right now. They've most definitely got to see that competition coming in as we happen to move ahead. There's so many teams that will be looking to lock horns with them. What will be really the X factor here is seeing who happens to dethrone them. That's something I'll be looking forward to find out. And coming back to you, Blackjack, anything you happen to add before we head out of this one?
You know, something to put that 13 round conversion into perspective. You know, we talk about it a lot, about it being a huge number within the first week itself, right? To put that into perspective, Union Gaming took champion spot being tied on 15 points with 3 other teams. How did they do that? Because of round conversion. Their round conversion ratio at the end of the previous season was 16. They are at 13 already this season, and we have 2 whole weeks of play left. That is how big of a move UG has made in week 1. They don't even need to be, this dominative in the next couple of weeks. In however many matches they have left, I believe they have 5 matches left in this season itself, 5 or 6, depending on how many offline matches they have. They can just have 7-5s and 7-4s, and they will still be well beyond that 15 round conversion ratio. That is how insanely well they have played in this first week, and that is definitely going to be helping them and hurting other teams' chances of getting that top spot. UG, they do not want to back off this season, and they are making that very clear right here, right now. This first week has been extremely good for them. But unfortunately, this day, we'll have to see a little bit of a stream end right here, as we'll be ending things off for the first stream. The second game got delayed. It's going to be offline. Valiance versus Mischief Gaming. It was supposed to happen now, but unfortunately, the timing had to be delayed and whatnot. So that match will be offline. We will update the score for all of our viewers at the end of the second stream of the night at 7:30 p.m. We'll be going live with 2 more games: Monkas versus Demons Force and ESM Elite versus Kira Esports, both of which promise to be very exciting indeed. We'll see you there. Until then, stay tuned.
We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart, 'cause I know we won't make it out. I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out. We've heard it all before. It's alright. It's alright, so let's move on. 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 We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart.